And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us here live on the broadcast for DMV Sports Media's production of the WPSL. This is Atlantic Conference District Division on, I was going to say a beautiful evening here at the St. James Fieldhouse, but we are indoors, one of the rare treats of this specific venue. We'll be right with you with the match kickoff and the anthem in just a minute. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and get your predictions in the chat. We'll be right back here with kickoff. While we await the walkout and anthem from these two WPSL sides, let's start to talk starting 11s for St. James FC. Their starting 11 will be comprised of Abigail Cullis, Alexandra Jones, Annika Berger, Kaylin Wright will take her spot in the goal tonight. Cassandra Villafan, Courtney Mills, Elisa McGee was a standout performer last time we had the chance to cover this team. Ivra Bora, Cassidy Collins, Sandra Flores, and Sheridan Snow will round out the starting 11. And of course, we will have some more substitutions as the match goes on. St. James FC will wear their traditional dark blue tops and black bottoms. For the away side, Margaret Brunk will get the start in goal for a Brunk will be Anita Frederick Segaren, Gabriella Terrell, Isabella Yousefi, Kylie Bradshaw, Layla Lajdell, Margaret Bruck, Mia Mervis, Neve O'Leary, Olivia Cruz, Reese Waterhouse, Samantha James. We'll round out that starting 11. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Every single like helps boost us in the algorithm. We're going to do the walkout, the anthem, and then match kickoff here on DMV Sports Media. Certainly appreciate you tuning in here with the World Cup in town, so to speak, in the United States with their kickoff tonight at 9 p.m. Be able to get everything in. This is called soccer maxing. I can tell all those diehards who have tuned in, you are just like myself, want to get as much footy as possible. We'll have the walkout coming from the far side.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to match day here at St. James Fieldhouse. This is WPSL District Division action. Get ready to support your St. James as they host the ASA Reds. Before we get underway, please rise and honor the flag with the playing of our national anthem.
Well, the anthem is played, the walkout done, and match time is upon us. We are very fortunate today to have the St. James Fieldhouse as our venue. The rain's certainly coming down. The storm has already delayed and possibly canceled the other WPSL match here in the district division this evening. Getting word from our crew over at the Arlington versus ASA U21 match that match has indeed been canceled. And this one obviously going to have a chance to start and ripen. We're in front of our eyes. We were speaking just a moment ago about the starting lineups for each side. Let's talk about the reserves and who will come off the bench to support St. James FC and the ASA Reg. For St. James, will be Ana Fernandez, Emma Rivera, Amelia Ninu, Mara Darfour, Maya Reed, Vivian Thompson. Certainly a strong bench. Some of those names have stood out to us from past matches. They knew the 15-year-old really excelled in the match against Arlington U21s earlier in the season. We'll see how Coach Justin O'Shell and Adam Baumgardner choose to use this bench as this match goes on. For the away side, ASA Reds will have a bench made up of Dale Tietzen, Eliana Lanzas, Casey Canestrero, Lauren Green, Lee Whiteman, Mia Medeiros, Sabrina Castellanos, and the coaches for ASA Reds will be Christine Monroy Bravo and Andrew Vincent. Strong officiating crew to keep the players safe and marshal this match into fruition. St. James FC, of course, will play right to left, wearing their traditional navy blue kits. And the ASA Reds will play left to right, wearing all red with white trim. As always, thanks for joining us here on DMV Sports Media. Make sure to share the link with all your friends. Hit the like button, subscribe, and participate in the chat. No hate speech of any type will be tolerated. If we see it, you will be blocked and reported, but friendly banter is more than welcome and encouraged. Another player who stood out on the St. James side, Kaylin Wright, was making save after save in the match earlier in the season against Arlington U21. We'll see if the Reds, coming off a big win against Arlington, will test her today. And we are underway with St. James sending one up the field. They will try to put some pressure. Brugg able to get this off her feet, but the flag had gone. It is a throw. Looks like that was sent in the direction of Waterhouse, but ran out of real estate, and now St. James will go back in order to get forward. Good ball movement in the early stages from this SJFC side. Final pass goes begging, and now the Reds will have an opportunity to look forward. Down the line goes Waterhouse. Look at the speed. She's created some space for her side. Now a nice shot. Well saved by Kaylin Wright on the end with sure hands. But a positive start for the Reds nonetheless, and a warning shot across the bow for St. James. This one's popped back inside as the Reds look to stack bodies in front. It's a battle that for the moment St. James have come out on top of. Good slaloming run there from Rabora. Now back inside. And St. James will look down the line. Quick passing, but the final pass just outside the range of the potential recipient. Reds looking down the far touchline and will send their winger down the line. That's an early ball in on the ground, not fully dealt with. What a run from James. James, you'll remember, was a key piece of this Reds side against Arlington SA on that Friday night last week. We'll see if she can create the width yet again with an attacking threat on the far touch. See Collins in the center of this back line, calling out commands and directing her teammates, and now St. James have an opportunity to get forward. This is McGee with the hold-up play. Now McGee again looking to start something. Smart play. There was nothing on, and St. James will go back in order to get forward. This one ricochets and finally will be An ASA throw. In the early stages, no clear favorite. Reds with the first strike on goal, well saved by Caitlin Wright. But St. James have certainly found meaningful possession of their own, so hard to say which way this one's going to go. This is a good challenge. James able to win it right back. She's tucked deep in her own corner, somehow found a way out. That's a really clever pass from James, and now the Reds will try an early ball forward. This is sniffed out in the back line by Jones. Jones again. Looking across midfield. Her second act travels over the far touch. That was Collins who got a touch to it. This one's still in bounds. Finally, the Reds get a touch, but it is going to be just a throw. It's in a very unique atmosphere here at St. James. Great support from fans from both sides, but just being able to hear the thunder, hear the rain at a footy match, and not have to worry is a real treat. I'll speak on behalf of at least the commentator side. I'm sure the fans likewise have the same sentiments. This is good build-up play from the Reds. Quick passing now in the direction of Waterhouse. She may just get to it. The flag has gone. Won't count anyways. An offside flag. Reese Waterhouse with a dangerous vertical run. Just a little bit early on that run. And now it will be a set piece for St. James. Good pressure so far today from this Reds side, who have collapsed every time the St. James find the ball in a isolated pocket. That's a really confident piece of defending from Ciagara, and was the last player there. Had a defender, or rather an attacker from St. James bearing down on her, but able to turn and start possession for her side. Ball has gone back to St. James. They, in turn, have also run out of real estate. And now will be an ASA throw on the far touch. Thanks again for joining us here on DMV Sports Media live on YouTube. Feel free to share the link with any friends and family who couldn't be at today's match. As the Reds look to start something through the middle, it's sent away, but only partially cleared. And now up the field goes St. James. Good ball over to McGee. McGee will look to the back post. And there was no final recipient, but that's super encouraging from St. James. McGee overlapping with her colleague there in the middle. Collins was the catalyst to help start that attack. And now will be another St. James throw on the far touch. Blanket of yellow shirts are there. St. James, undaunted, will continue the pressure. That's a good challenge initially. Reds now have daylight forward. Can they get it to Waterhouse? Yes, they can. This time Waterhouse is run very much onside. Here comes Reese Waterhouse. Final pass cut out, but the ricochet takes it into the direction of O'Leary. Reds driving forward. Waterhouse, top of the 18. Her ball deflected. It's not fully cleared. The Reds in a really dangerous position, but St. James able to make the clearance. Never a comfortable moment as a defender when you get inside your own 18. Any wrong time challenge, contact from behind, and you're looking at potentially giving away a penalty. But that time, St. James able to bend but not break. Another throw here for the Reds. Looks like this one is Lajdel to take. Good physical defending. Oh, a slaloming run just about cut out. That's excellent defending, but St. James have really struggled to break out. This Reds side has been stifling at times. Here comes the pressure. It's out to O'Leary, and now Waterhouse. Defending again has been stout from St. James. There's the throw from O'Leary into the 18. She's found her colleague there. And it looks like Red's able to find a consolation prize of a corner. No, ball had gone. Kylie Bradshaw was the one to try to send it in. Just couldn't quite get there. Maybe a fraction of an inch over that end line. And this time, Kaylin Wright will look forward on the ground. Good turn from Rabora. Rabora picking up the foul along the way. Will be a set piece. It's the set piece taken on the ground. And James wisely electing to try to maintain possession on the pitch. They will try one forward. The second ball falls kindly on the outside. James able to win it back. Now Reds looking forward. The intended target was Gabriella Terrell, a player who scored 2 goals last week in their match against Arlington SA. This is Terrell looking outside. There's an early service for the Reds. St. James equal to the task. Second bite at the apple is also sent away by St. James. And it looks like Lajdel will take the throw once again. Terrell looking top of the 18. Is there a strike? There's a narrow window. It's well hit by Bradshaw, but Kaylin Wright is there to sniff out any would-be danger. Sent down the line. And Reds first to it. There is some pressure from the St. James front line. Brunk will start the attack on the ground. O'Leary sends it back inside, and this is an opportunity for St. James to start things off. It's an opportunity squandered as Reds are back on the front foot. Oh, look at that touch from Waterhouse, trying to get around the defender. And for her troubles, she's won a throw on this near side. Reese Waterhouse has been very active here on this near touchline, getting up and down the wing. And now it looks like her colleague O'Leary will send it in. It's popped up by Yousefi. Back to O'Leary. It's a low ball across. Gave St. James a bit of trouble, but they have made the partial clearance. And once again, we'll see a throw on the near side. This is Neve O'Leary. Terrell with the return pass. Now Waterhouse down the line. She'd love to cut inside. Has found a narrow window. No final recipient on the end of this. And now St. James looking for a hold-up play up top. They've got just that. And McGee excellent hold-up play with McGee to start this attack. It allowed St. James to get bodies into the mix, and then the supporting cast has now won a throw. And sent in and immediately jumped upon by the Reds. Can they hit in transition? That's been their favorite move. This is Terrell down the line. Look at the burst of acceleration. Great defending on the back end from Alexandra Jones, who had to come all the way across in order to make this challenge. Terrell was bearing down on goal, and we've already seen her apply that speed to good use with 2 goals against Arlington SA last Friday. Reds, it has to be said, have had the lion's share of meaningful chances. They've been excellent on the transition, especially down this near touchline. St. James have been good enough with possession when they get the ball, but haven't looked quite as venomous. We'll see how that changes as the match goes on. Good strength and well read by Caitlin Wright. The shot taken by Olivia Cruz. St. James, once again, they will look to play from the back. They've got potential recipient, the form of Courtney Mills. Mills will send it right back. St. James look to queue up a long ball. This is a ball that will ask the question. Here it comes, the chance taken. Oh, it's just up and over. Great ball forward. Eva Rabora found herself in. Take a look back on this replay. Great ball over the top. And that's certainly been a bright moment for St. James. They are on the front foot once again. Top of the 18, Rabora will take it out of the air. And again, Eva Rabora sticking her foot in there and almost finding the back of the net. Brunk now with a big ball upfield, trying to create some clearance. Mills, clever skill from Mills to keep this on the ground, but maintain the possession. St. James again will lean on Mills to bump it right back. And over to Jones once again. I believe was the one to play that big ball over the top. I have to look back on the replay. Here's another big ball down the line. Sent to the back post. That was Ninu, excuse me, Ninu, who has come on. I didn't even see a substitution, but Amelia Ninu, who's got down that line and made that service. But here's another look. Goal kick on the back end of it, but some personnel changes, and we'll see if that can continue to help St. James shake things up. They were under the gun for a bit, but have found a way to put some pressure on the Reds. This is solid defending to invite the defender in and then use that body shape and position against the Reds. This is down the line. Mills will give chase, and it's off of Mills for the throw, but St. James might have the opportunity to lock this one in. There's the throw down the line. James will send it back inside, now into the middle. Sorrell gives it back. And now down the line. No initial recipients. It's shielded and well won. Good pressure up top. Now the Reds will look down the line. They've got a recipient, but no easy way out. St. James will try to start the attack on the ground. Rabora with clever skill to take this one down and start their attack. It's over to Rabora. She'll look to bring it right back down that far right side. There's another step. Collins will send it back now into Rabora. Rabora looking for the early service. Mills with the shot. Great work from Mills. That pressure paying dividends that time. St. James were all over the Reds and have forced a mistake. A corner kick is the product. Let's see what the side can cook up from one of their first set pieces of the match. I believe it's McGee to take. It looks like she will send it short. This is something from the training ground, but well read by Kylie Bradshaw. Another couple subs coming on for St. James FC. I'll try to keep you updated as we can see the numbers when they step on. Looks like the players off are 4 and 5. That's Annika Berger and Villafan, who have come off. And here we go. Still haven't gotten word on the two subs. Had to move our eyes, but we'll get you those subs in just a moment. Reds looking to counterattack. And here is Terrell with an early service towards Waterhouse. Waterhouse may just run this one down, and it is still alive. Reese Waterhouse looking at inside. Here's another great attack, slaloming run. Final defending was excellent. Take a look back on this replay. Excuse me, this is not a corner kick. Goal kick, final touch did come off the Reds player, but great defending nonetheless. Emma Rivera was one of those substitutes to come on at the last stoppage. We'll try to find the other one in a moment. This is one back by the Reds. Reese Waterhouse slaloming through traffic. It's top of the 18. Plenty of blue shirts there initially. Reds will send this back outside. Here's James on the ground and finally mopped up. And James will continue their pressure as they shape it to this near side. Nevo Leary surveying and not liking what she sees in front. We'll bring this one back once again. Pop straight up. And now Jones dispossessed, but immediately going on to the defensive side of things. This is mopped up. Leah Ninu looking to start the attack. She's got her back pass, and now will switch the point of attack. Look at that ball. Incredible vision, but James, to her credit, ran it down really well, and now will be a throw on the far touch. 3 subs for the Alexandria Reds to maybe match the energy and substitutions for St. James. Looks like Amelia Ninu is coming off. Or no, excuse me, she's switching wings and will trade places with Collins. Collins has come over to this left wing spot. It's interesting. Coach O'Shell has seen something in terms of matchups that he wants to possibly exploit. We'll see how that plays out on this St. James offense. Big ball down the middle. And a little too direct. It's well read by Wright. And on to the 24th minute we go. Reds. Dispossessed. Mills has won it back. Can she get it down the line? She's got support, and now it's sent up into the attacking area. Hard challenge, and it looks like that is given as a foul. Reds will have this set piece right in midfield. Here's a look back on the replay. Early take on the ground as the Reds look to continue trying to test this back line. Great challenge initially. Mills also got a foot stuck in there, and now Reds will have to go back to square one, throwing it down the line for James. Top of the 18. This one misses everybody. And finally the Reds able to take over, finding Neve O'Leary in acres of space. She's got her support. Oh, that's clever. The back heel has found Waterhouse. The shot is well saved. Good footwork there from Kaylin Wright to get behind this one with the safe hands. But credit Reds for the creation of this attack. This time St. James will start down that far side. Not the connection that they were looking for. This is going to be a throw down the line. James has still continued with really high energy down that line and may have a second effort to spark something. This is blocked. Now Ninu taking over. Amelia Ninu with an early service. Perfectly weighted ball. Maybe just outside the range of Elisa McGee. Commentator's curse. But that was really close to being a connection between Amelia Ninu and Elisa McGee. In the end, Reds forced to send this over the far touch, and now St. James will have the consolation prize of a throw. There's an early service. No, it doesn't find any immediate clearance, and now a corner kick for St. James. Welcome, Abugazi. Thanks for tuning in. This match really looks like it's on the precipice of getting started. Here is a great ball into the top of the six. Goalkeeper comes, doesn't punch. It's cleared off the line, and golazo! What a finish in there. Believe that was Ninu, Amelia Ninu. She pounced on this one. After the scrum, the confusion in the box, St. James FC have found their first. Let's take a look back and confirm this goal scorer. Good work from Jones and others, but Amelia Nanu stood ready to smash this into the back of the net without any doubt. And St. James now have found their first here in the 28th minute. It was the Reds who perhaps had the stronger start to this match, but St. James have found their way in, partially working into the game and adding the correct substitutes in the correct spots. Got to credit this coaching staff and the maturity of these players and how they've come on and made the adjustments. They're still on the front foot. As Mills looks to round her player. Courtney Mills into the 18, but final ball will be just a goal kick. If you're just joining us, welcome. This is WPSL Atlantic Conference District Division. Here live on DMV Sports Media. St. James FC found their way into the score sheet by a corner kick that was bobbled around. Sheridan Snow headed it across the face, and then Amelia Ninu able to find the back of the net with the first goal of the day for St. James. This is down the line. Jones looking into Rabora. Final pass is well cut out. And once again, ASA just running out of real estate. Will be a throw here for the St. James. Welcome, Discord Garden. Watch all the way from the UK. This is indeed in the US. We're in Springfield, Virginia. I think this is Springfield, but close enough. Basically just outside the nation's capital. This is a suburb of Washington, D.C. We have two substitutes on for the St. James. As soon as they turn around, we'll try to get you those names, but for now, that's Courtney Mills here on the touch. The two substitutes linking up. And finally, Mills able to get into a dangerous area and finally cleared. It was Berger and Villafan who were involved immediately after coming back onto the field. There is a turnover, and Waterhouse will look to send the ASA Reds forward. Good ball across from James. Reds still looking to stir something up. Can they send it across? They have. Falls kindly top of the penalty mark and finally just wide. Shot taken on from number 22, Mia Medeiros. Here's a look back on the replay. Rudd's unable to find the response. But have gotten the looks that they may like to this point. Have not been able to beat Kaylin Wright. And St. James now will look to play from the back. Kaylin Wright involved as well. There's no real urgency. This is smart play from this back line to take what is given and take your time. It's not that you're killing the game. It's far too early to park the bus, but you absolutely do not need to make costly mistakes. That was a mistake, but well mopped up in the end. Sheridan Snow covering a ton of room and able to make the clearance for St. James. Here is Mills with the clearance. Discord Garden. It's a open-ended question. I'll try to get back to it in a moment. But for now, St. James still looking to get out. And at the moment, they have not. This is a big ball across, taking on, and now over to Neva Leary. Is there a hit? Good defending initially, slowing down Medeiros, and now the outlet pass has allowed St. James to get forward. There's a deflected ball, just about rode the line, but I think St. James very happy that one is kept in bounds. Here's Medeiros into the midfield. Great play. Waterhouse pocket picked. And finally, it will be a St. James throw. This match has really escalated as we've gone on. You see the Reds knocking this around quickly. Tic-tac-toe passing. St. James, likewise, I think their substitutes really helped improve the play. Discord, to answer your question, I think this is a match that we have yet to see the best of. Two teams coming into their game and really treating us with some excellent moments. Jones got a foot to it, tried to send the first ball forward, and finally cut out by Brunk. Oh, that's really well read from Snow, who's been lockdown defender in that back line along with Jones and others. O'Leary will look to settle this one down as Cigarin takes what is given, drives down that line. On the end, no clear recipient. And St. James will take over with the throw. Excuse me, with the goal kick. Discord Garden says, don't copy Arsenal tactics. Noted. I think they've got their own thing cooking. There's a couple of subs here for the Reds. Believe it was Terrell and Waterhouse, who both have been very active getting up and down the pitch. One of those subs to come on is Castellanos. We'll try to get the other in a moment. It's a big run down the line. But again, well mopped up from Snow. And here comes the counterattack. This is Amelia Nanu. Into the feet of Mills. Mills able to get her ball forward. McGee lets it ride. Now the service into the feet of McGee. Little heavy on her touch. Finally, result is just a goal kick, but lovely build-up play from St. James. Those front players starting to click together. Nanu, McGee, Jones, and others. And reminder, Annika Berger has also come on to supplant this offensive line. Offensive line, I should say front two. Sounds like I'm talking about the guys protecting the quarterback. This one deflects over the far touch, and it will be another Red substitution. For a large portion of the game, we saw no subs, but now with the tempo as it has been, both sides taking the opportunity to bring reinforcements to the mix. And off the line comes Wright. We'll start this attack from inside, deep in St. James territory. New play one down the line. McGee looking for the one-time pass. Not quite finding the look to Cassidy Collins. She saw it. It's an overlapping run here, and the Reds have made the most of it. Now down the line towards Gabriella Terrell. Terrell slaloming, bobbing, and weaving, and that's a great save. Caitlin Wright to her right side, able to hold on and stop this one. Those bouncing balls low and hard can really present issues for goalkeepers, but Caitlin Wright did well to get down and hold on. No connection to be found. Evo Leary We'll start it off. Jones into Mills. Now, great return pass. Mills looking to return the favor to Berger. Berger cuts, has found a narrow window at goal. Instead, we'll go back to Castellanos. And Castellanos' shot is well held by Brunk. Both goalkeepers being tested. And I think it's symptomatic of how this game has really started to improve in pace and clinicality. This one's sent over the top. Sheridan Snow will have a decision to make, and that decision is to live to fight another day. It's a smart ball out. 2 potential Reds players bearing down. I think if there were going to be another way out, there would have been some earlier communication from his teammates. Some big switches here for St. James. It's McGee, Jones, and Rivera, whose turn is now, will come off. 3 players have come on. Just a reminder, here in the WPSL, it is not you sub off and you're gone. There is unlimited re-entry, so players who come off, their day is not done. This is Mills, who's been a force in the interior today. She'll send it outside. No connection to be found as we move into the end of the 40th minute. St. James still holding on to that lead. The lone goal from Amelia Ninu, a 15-year-old Greek who is more than holding her own with his adult players. It's incredible to see St. James leaning on some youth academy players, and not just leaning on, but watching them excel. That was a dropped ball. Margaret Brunk able to pounce upon the rebound. And now the attack will go down the line. Just about saved. Here comes Terrell. Able to maintain possession, and this is a promising look. Once again, Reds bringing it back in order to get forward. Big ball across, and again, Wright is off her line to make the intervention. Kaylin Wright with a booming ball downfield. She's got Collins. Collins was the recipient, but just couldn't quite hang on. Now Jones will take over and help St. James settle this one to feet. Wise move for a team that's already leading by a goal to nil. I think they would be content to take this lead into the half. You don't want to concede. You don't want to give your teammate the ball, your opponents the ball more often than needed. And that's why there isn't any initial urgency. Great ball over the top. And Collins drew the intervention of Anita Frederick Sigarin. Covered a lot of distance there and had to. Now throw for St. James FC. This is Berger, dispossessed. Another throw played short. Collins just ran out of real estate. Now Reds will have an opportunity to build from their goalkeeper. As we near the end of the 43rd minute, just about 2 minutes plus whatever stoppage is given. This one pinballs around. Finally, Reds able to come out on top. That was Cruz heavily involved in the buildup. Now top of the 18, the excellent flick. James have to send it back in order to get forward. And this is a nervy moment. St. James have got bodies in the mix. Collins. Great intervention there from Medeiros. Now Medeiros will receive on this near touch. It's back to the interior. Sagarin has found the midfield, and this is a great response from ASA Reds. What can they do with their possession? I'll get a second bite at the apple. As O'Leary looks down the line, final recipient not to be found. Will just be a goal kick. Let's move on to the final minute of the first half, plus whatever stoppage. If we get an indication of how much time there will be, we'll try to keep you updated on that. Don't imagine there'll be a whole lot of stoppage, but we'll see how that goes. This is in the direction of Collins. Eva Leary did enough to marshal this one out. Big ball down the line, popped straight up. Collins is taking it to ground. Another booming clearance, popped straight back down the middle by Snow. And James will look upfield. Excuse me, that was Castellanos. Now into the feet of Courtney Mills, and that will do it for the first half. St. James FC with the lead. Amelia Ninu with the lone goal of this half after a corner kick that wasn't initially cleared. Sheridan Snow also involved in setting the table for Ninu. Thanks for joining us here on DMV Sports Media. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Every like will boost this video in the YouTube algorithm, and let's get these players and teams the exposure that they deserve. I'm going to take my halftime break, and we'll be right back with second half action. Don't forget to tune in. I know a lot of fans will be checking out the USA match as well, but just keep a second tab open. I imagine this match will certainly be worth the watch as things heat up here at St. James Fieldhouse. We'll see you back for the second half. Well, hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Second half is upon us here at St. James Fieldhouse in Springfield, Virginia. This is the Atlantic Conference District Division of the WPSL here in mid-season action. Of course, we're delighted to have you with us here on DMV Sports Media, live on YouTube, for a match that really has been on the upswing. I think the connections, the vertical threats, and just everything about the game has gotten better as we've gone on. Of course, even more appreciative for those who have tuned in with the USA World Cup bearing down. Understandable if you want to have two screens open, but I don't think you'd want to turn this one off. This is certainly a second half that will have chances, will have attacking threats, and we are underway. Of course, this half, Alexandria Reds will play right to left, wearing their red kits with white trim. St. James will play left to right, wearing their navy blue. Ooh, here's an early chance for St. James. It ricochets. Collins still looking for a way through, and she's got support. Collins sending one into the mixer. Here's the chance. I think that might have been McGee setting the table. Yeah, it was McGee setting the table for Collins. I misspoke. We're back with a second chance. Popped up in the air, taken down, and there's the shot. And that was Amelia Nanu with the shot. Incredible strike. She's already got one goal to her name today, Amelia Nanu. Look at the skill. Able to round the defender and maybe just a little heavy on the strike. But certainly has been a player to watch out for this St. James side. Only 15 years old. Certainly will be one to watch out for. Here comes the goal kick. Sent high up the field. And now James looking to springboard an attack. It's well mopped up at the back by the St. James side. Tackle made by Abigail Colis. And now the counterattack. Nipped in the bud. Reds will go back in order to get forward. It was Bruck who started the game, but it looks like Reds have brought in Casey Canestrero for the second half. Meanwhile, St. James continue to utilize their goalkeeper, Kaylin Wright. There have been some other switches as well. We'll try to call those out as we see them. This is sent back inside. And here comes the attack. Reds. Bradshaw driving down the line. Her ball cut out. And now Collins will go down the line. Ricochets off two players. Collins now able to connect on this near side. It was Berger who sent it back. James winning it back for Reds. No clear possessor yet. It's really well won by Mills, but Reds able to apply a challenge. More skill from James to try to will her team forward. Waterhouse will turn upfield, and now it's a bruising counterattack, but St. James Johnny on the spot. This is Berger holding up play and allowing her support to get in the mix. Rabora is the target, and her pressure pays dividends. Second look for St. James. Top of the 18 it goes, and it's well tackled by Cruz. Waterhouse looking to take over and bring this one back down to the pitch. Well kept alive by James, but no second recipient down the line. Alexandra Jones will start the attack. Jones looking for McGee. Anika Berger will take over. Here comes Berger. Driving to the top of the 18. Finally well tackled, but has support from Villafan. On the tail end, Anita Frederick Cigarin had to cover some distance to make this clearance, and did so rather well. St. James wasting no time. New into the central area, must be. It's initially saved. How has this not gone in? We'll come back and look at the replay. This one's still in the mixer. Incredible. From the service to the almost would-be goal to the save. This back line and goalkeeper working together seamlessly. We'll come back and look at that play when we get a moment, but for now, we've still got a ball in play. Villafan pocket picked. She's got support. Final ball from Collins. Does not find any would-be takers. Look at this ball in. Great save from Casey Canestrero, who's come off the bench, and it can be really difficult for a goalkeeper to come into a match like this, but made the crucial stop. Got some help from her defender as well. That was McGee, the target. Looks like there's a player off for the Reds, Neva Leary. Blanked by Alexandra Jones. She'll counterattack. And well blocked inside of Reds territory. Lajdell with the challenge. And here is Jones. To the waiting feet of McGee. McGee couldn't quite hang on. Thought there was a corner, and it looks like it is given as a corner. Overruled, and now St. James committing bodies into the mix. I believe the service came from Colas on that far touchline in that earlier attack that almost found the back of the net. This is a great service. Begs for the finishing touch. Just a little up and over. Goal kick to come. But really good service. Final strike from Sheridan Snow. Up from her defending responsibilities to try to find the back of the net. Courtney Mills picking the pocket and starting the counterattack. And now she's got support as St. James look to lock the Reds in. Good ball up top. Colas first to it. And now once again over the top. Sheridan Snow is there in defense. Bradshaw. No. Reds will bring it around. Cruz looking for the return pass. Instead, it's well turned from Waterhouse. Final ball in is a great one, but Jones with the challenge. Just see this one over the end line. Take a look back on the replay. Beautiful ball from Waterhouse. But well marshaled back by Jones. Big ball over the top. Here comes McGee. She's got Collins in the middle. There's the slaloming run, the turn, and the shot just wide of frame. Not a bad idea, but perhaps would have liked to find a teammate on the back side. Good look from McGee, who's been making things happen all day long. Now into the 55th minute we go. St. James still holding on to their lone goal from Amelia Nanu in the first half. Oh, this is a moment that will test this back line. It's well sent away by Jones. And now Bradshaw able to win the throw. Excuse me, that was Cruz. Here's Terrell sending it down the line. The service is good. The goalkeeping alert. And now it's Annika Berger down the line. She'll bring it back for St. James to retain their possession. Now all the way into the feet of Wright. Oh, crunching tackle from James. Look at the acceleration, but finally just about running out of real estate to work with. Love the support we're seeing here on the chat. We got some international support. I think, honestly, there's some people... Well, hold that thought. This is down the line. I do think there's some people tuned in who, for whatever reason, are looking for World Cup streaming for free and may have stumbled across. If that's the case, stick around. We're glad to have you. And now down the line it goes from McGee. And finally cut out. Reds will go home to their number one. Big outlet pass from Casey Canestrero to help ease that pressure on this Reds back line. And now Snow will take over down the line. Her ball doesn't quite find its mark. Reds have got James here on the near side. James, can she get it off? Yes, she can. Flag stays down. Bradshaw was there, but Ninu was even quicker. Big intervention from Amelia Ninu. Now the Reds will try to send one into the 18. No recipients, and Wright will hold on. Big ball up the field. Good intervention there from Mills. And Berger to create the width. She's found a recipient inside. And Villafan, but Reds now have taken over. Villafan. Clever intervention, and Jones is there to help. There is pressure on the ball, but pressure that is well withstood by St. James. McGee looking for the overlapping run. Instead, it just about trickles over the touch. Ball forward, excuse me. Back pass from the Reds, and no advantage there. Will be a set piece on this near touchline. Sigaran will send everyone forward. It's a big ball up the pitch. Initially won by St. James, but just as quickly back down to the pitch. Colissa's ball cut out. Reds have bodies at the top of the 18. Terrell Sends it across. And now down the line, James working against Berger. James still going through the contact. Look at the slaloming run from James. Here's a hit out of the air, and what a hold from Wright. Incredible save, not just to make a save, but to hold on. Caitlin Wright, take a bow. That's massive with potential ASA Reds players in the box. Had to hold on and did so really well. Now St. James on the front foot. McGee will cut this one inside. Her ball's cut out. As we move to the end of this 60th minute, 30 minutes left to play. Big ball up from St. James, just a little too heavy on the final touch. Goal kick to come. And we'll see how the Reds want to play this. It looks like they will send bodies up the pitch. Not so keen on playing from the back. It's a booming ball across midfield. Final recipient is St. James. No-nonsense clearance from Wright. And now St. James on the front foot. This is Annika Berger. Beautiful ball across and another great save. All the goalkeepers involved tonight have been Johnny on the spot. That was Canestraro with the safe hands. Reds looking down the touchline. Nothing there, and we'll come back in order to recycle things. This is flicked down the line by Mills. And now the counterattack on. James slaloms through one challenge. Now has found Terrell. Terrell with one to beat. Will cut back in. No window at goal. The touch, the turn, the goal. It's Terrell to equalize here for the Reds, doing what we've seen her do time and again against Arlington last Friday. Another goal for Terrell. And now we've got a ball game, one apiece. Let's take a look back on this replay. This is a tremendous run from Terrell, able to wrong foot the entire back line. Gabriella Terrell certainly take a bow. But a lot of game left as we move on to the 63rd minute. We'll see what St. James have as their response. A couple of switches made for the Reds. We are back underway. Berger into the middle, pocket picked. And it's well cut out in this back line. Snow able to get it off her foot. And we'll have a throw once again on this near side. Looks like Collins to take. And we'll go big. Ball initially cut out. And now the overlapping run from Waterhouse was promising, but it was read well by St. James. Pinballing back and forth. Rabora will take this one down, and it is going to be a drop ball for the benefit of St. James. Ball hit off the center official. So we'll slow things down and come back for a drop ball for St. James. Rabora will send it to the far touchline. Good ball movement from St. James, but looks like the ball had gone, and now instead of a goal kick, throw for the Reds. And he knew going to work. It's just about run out of real estate to work with. Once again, Reds will have a throw. This one's picked out well by Mills. Courtney Mills with the acceleration, but a wall of red in front of her. Now the Reds on the back foot again. Amelia Ninu beats one. We'll send it across. Oh, that's a beautiful service. That certainly asked the question of this Reds back line. The target was Collins, but I think this one arrived even quicker than she expected. Got ahead to it, but just couldn't quite direct it all the way on frame. This one pinballs around, now down the line. And Reese Waterhouse will go to work inside. Lovely skill from Waterhouse. Jones able to cover the distance and make the intervention. Will be a throw again for the Reds. Looks like St. James will replace Cassandra Villafan. Another substitute to come on. I'll try to update you on who this substitute is in a moment. Mills with the acceleration. The challenge made by Cruz. And now James. Oh, what a connection there. Oh, it's a big ball up and over. Good look, but Yousefi just a little bit too much on it. And now goal kick to come. The substitute for St. James is 11, Sandra Flores, who has come on here in the 67th minute. Big ball. Finds the feet of Medeiros. Now Waterhouse turning and sending this one upfield. Medeiros once again. Deep strike into the waiting arms of Wright, but not a bad look at all for the Reds. Mia Medeiros has been a real bright spot. Pressure still on from the Reds. Jones will create the width. Good battle here on the near touch. Mills still going. Courtney Mills. That battle between Mills and James has been one to watch for. Lajdell as well has been heavily involved. Medeiros looking down the line, not quite able to find her mark, and we'll see another wave of subs coming in for the Reds. Looks like James and Lajdell will be the ones coming off. A couple of new faces will take their place. Excuse me, that is Yousefi who has come on. It was Tietzen who was up top with the chance a minute ago. Well, Tietzen got that one wrong, but Yousefi has now come on. And now it's Reese Waterhouse with the pass in the direction of Tietzen. Bouncing ball, finally taken down, and that is class from Cigarin. Starting this attack, Medeiros looking for Yousefi. Just not quite able to connect that time. There will be another goal kick for Wright and company. Looks like Berger will get some respite. That's another substitute will step on in her place. That is Cassandra Villafan. Bouncing ball, finds Mia Medeiros. Medeiros charging down the line. We'll look back across. Another little nutmeg. And final ball mopped up well by Snow. Danger not fully dealt with. But now St. James have green grass in front to run into. Big ball through the middle, but a little too direct. Courtney Mills was always second favorite to catch up to this one. Casey Canestrero is going to be the start to this attack. Reds have two players here. And now St. James will start. Jones. And now down the line. It's an early strike, but well gobbled up by Canestrero. That was Maya Reed who has come on. It has been a real bright spot. And into the 73rd minute we go. Big booming ball up from Canestrero, only partially dealt with. Alexandra Jones is there. Villafan will try to find something down the line. Instead it goes into the waiting feet of Reds. This is an unfortunate deflection. Sheridan Snow is there. It did take a deflection off the Reds player. I think it's an unfortunate reality, but if the player advocates there and sort of claims that ball and points the direction, I think we might be seeing a different verdict. That's just a suspicion. There's the human element of this game as well. Reds just pointed quicker. I think Snow assumed it was evident. It was good defending, though, able to play it off the defender or off the Reds player, and in theory would have won the throw. St. James have found their way forward anyways. Here's Mills, dispossessed. Courtney Mills to the outside. There's an overlapping run coming from deep. And finally mopped up. Great deep run from Abigail Colas. Reds knocking this one around. Finally, Mills intervenes. And that's a nifty piece of skill. It has opened up the field. Yousefi has an overlapping run. Mia Medeiros with the left-footed ball in. It's top of the 18. Final effort, and it's a great save after an excellent piece of play. Wright able to hang on. Would love to show you this replay, but play is still on. There's no rest for the wicket as St. James look to go right back down Jump Street. There is going to be a handball, and it will be a set piece for ASA Reds. Opportunity for the Reds to send everyone upfield. It's just about deflected out by Reed. "15 minutes left to play in a match that has ebbed and flowed. I think to start the match, Reds were looking for a time the better side. There is going to be a switch, by the way. Rabora stepping on for St. James. But after, oh, here's a good ball in. Reds looking for a final product on the end here. Oh, that's a great save from Wright, who has been at times standing on her head. That's really well saved. The shot taken on by Olivia Cruz. And not a bad shot at all, but Wright in traffic, able to hang on, and now will springboard and attack forward. This is Ninu, helped out by Reed. Mia Medeiros for the Reds will start, and they've got bodies forward. Mia Medeiros, top of the 18. Can she take this on herself? Will send it down the line. Now the service. Oh, what a save again. Kaylin Wright absolutely putting together a highlight reel here today and has preserved the level footing for St. James. This is Cruz in the midfield for the Reds, looking to go back in order to get forward. Sagarin will lift it over one player. Here's Yousefi. Lovely ball movement from the Reds. And they will continue to try to draw in the St. James players to open up space. Ninu has been all over this back line trying to force an error. And it looks like finally St. James have found that. Rabora into Mills, now down the line for Amelia Ninu. Can she track this down? Yes. It looks like the offside flag has gone, and it's going to be a set piece coming out for the Reds. We're getting to the final stages of this match. Canestraro will send one into the midfield. Seffi's ball partially sniffed out. Snow on an island. Can she get this away? Did enough. Another deflection and another save. Ball had most of its pace taken out by the time it got to Wright, but now another booming ball up the field. This one taken down by Tietzen. And here comes Cruz. Cruz looking again for Tietzen. Instead, there are other bodies. That's a great look. Final effort just up and over. But really good look for the Reds. That was Cruz, the catalyst. And it looks like St. James making a goalkeeper switch. Mara Dufour. USA goal? We got word. We got a USA goal. We got a USA. Let's go. We got a great game on our hands here. We got a USA goal. What's not to love? Here we go. Sent into the midfield. By the way, goalkeeping switch. Maya Darfour for St. James has come into the big shoes of Wright. And now James Looking up top. Oh, it's Terrell into the feet of final recipient. Flag had gone. Let's take a look back. Really hard to look from our angle. Linesman flagged it. He's got the best look in the house, but it was very narrow. It's a big ball upfield, initially intervened, or rather intercepted by Olivia Cruz. Cruz will send it right back into the danger area. Reds to James. Fun in defense. Will have her hands full with James. Top of the 18 it goes. Here's the shot. Oh, golazo! There's a lovely hit from the Reds player. I think that's Olivia Cruz with the strike, and Reds have gone ahead here in the 81st minute. They started out trailing St. James, but they fought their way back, 2 unanswered. And it is Olivia Cruz with the goal after a great assist by James. Here's a look back on the replay. Heartbreaking for St. James, who have battled well, but we got 10 minutes left to play. Don't count anyone out yet. We got just 1 goal as the deficit for St. James, and 10 minutes plus stoppage. Again, for those who are diehard fans and still tuned in with us, just so you know, USA have found their goal to start the game against Paraguay, but we'll come back here. This is sent up and over the far touchline. Casey Canestrero sending it to safety. Game of ping pong back and forth. Who can take this down? Mills able to look down the line. It's great defending. And now James. James rounding Mills. And finally Mills has found support from her back line. This one sent upfield. And Rabora does well enough. Another ball sent up, but Mia Medeiros is there. St. James have to retreat bodies back in defense as they have lost this one here in their own area. Bradshaw will go back, and that's good work from McGee. Will be a throw to restart play here on the near side. Cassandra Villafan will look down the line and has found McGee. McGee will in turn also win a throw. Here comes another switch for St. James up top. It looks like it's Reed coming off. It might be a tactical switch. Here's the long throw into the 18. Sagarin able to send it away. Ball back to Villafan. Reds able to walk the tightrope, keep this alive. That's Rabora into McGee. That's a crunching challenge, but it has won the ball. Great challenge from McGee. Now into a danger area. Ninu was deemed to be in an offside position, I believe. No, excuse me. I don't know if this is offside or a foul, but in any case, we move forward. Emilianu with the chance, and now Reds with the set piece in their own area. Rabora with the first touch, but Mia Medeiros will take over. It's Yousefi. Beautiful ball over to Samantha James. James with the heavy hit, just up and over. And St. James breathe a huge sigh of relief. They are still in this match and will have to build from their own area. They've looked to try to find a way down that far touchline, and again it's down the line. Yousefi working hard to get back for her side. Here's Medeiros. Big battle. Cruz, the late goal scorer, dispossessed. And now it's down the line. This is McGee with the service. Can't quite find the angle. Just a goal kick to come. As time ticks down here. Just about 5 left to play, plus whatever stoppage is given. A really high-octane match with pressure from both sides. This is Medeiros to claim initially. Viafan will send it forward. And St. James back on the ball. Good touch from Rabora. Let's find Cassandra Viafan. And that's a lovely pass from Viafan. The turn from Mills now opens up this field. St. James an inch and a hair's breadth away from finding their way in. They aren't able to capture the second ball. And here comes James down the line towards Terrell. Terrell has already got 1 goal thus far. Her effort will sail into the side netting. And it looks like Reds will make another switch. Mia Medeiros off. And another player is back on. Believe this is Waterhouse. It is. Reese Waterhouse back on to help try to lock things down. Reds will have to get bodies back behind the ball. Here comes Mills, sliding through traffic. Final ball cut out. James smartly brings it back. That's a good touch from Yousefi, and this is ASA Reds at their best. Final ball doesn't connect, but I don't think that Reds bothered. They've created time and space for themselves to catch their breath, and I think that's just as valuable as anything else. Will be another switch. Believe it's Maya Reed stepping on for Berger. Oh, big block from James. Viafan in an uncomfortable position and has done really well to marshal this over the end line. Goal kick to come. Just about 2 minutes left to play. Good tackle. It looks like the advantage was played, but we've come back to the spot. Interesting. Just a moment of time left here as we trickle down the end of the 89th minute into the 90th. There's the service into the 18. Goalkeeper stays, and that was very nearly a connection for the Reds. And we'll look back on the replay. DeFore will send it in. St. James still have work to do to get this one forward. This is well marshaled over the touch by Bradshaw. Now back inside. Waterhouse turns. Collins is there. And now we have 4 with the long, hopeful ball. No connection to be found. Yousefi will take it down. And Cassandra Villafor once again looking to find a way forward. Her ball is cut out. And now James, who has been oh so important for the ASA Reds tonight. Not only getting forward, but playing smart and bringing it back when called on. This one switched to the far side. Lanzas able to win the throw, and that is your final whistle. ASA Reds with the comeback win to knock down St. James FC. Thanks for joining us here on DMV Sports Media. Don't forget to join us for the final home game of St. James FC. Go check out the USA and support our nation and the World Cup. I'm Noah Walker with DMV Sports Media. Have a good night.